Sarah here from Marital Glue, and welcome to another installment of our Marital Money Monday series, where every Monday we talk about a financial related topic, and you are following along with us as we pay off $120,000 worth of debt. If you haven't seen our video about that debt, click the link in the description box below, and I will also have a playlist link of all the different Marital Money Monday series videos so you can follow along. Today we will be talking about one of my new favorite topics, which is sinking funds. I seriously could talk about this for a very long time, but I'm going to try to keep this video as informative but concise as possible. Sinking funds are something very important to anyone and everyone. However, we did not start using sinking funds or implementing them into our budget until September of 2016, and it is September of 2016 when I am filming this video. So it is something very new to us in practice, but not new to us in theory. We've known about them for a long time, but just have not put them into use. But now all that is changing, and we are going to share with you what they are, why you should have them, what the differences are between sinking funds and other types of funds and investments, and what types of sinking funds we have and what some other options are for you. So let's get started. So Dave Ramsey is where we learned about sinking funds from, and he has really good articles on his website all about them. I will leave one linked below, which is titled Stop the Panic with a Sinking Fund, and it is all about how you can save up for things over time, for things that you can plan and expect that are necessary but not necessary right now, and you can just divide however much that item or items cost, divided by how much time you have to save up for them, and then you know exactly how much to save up each month. And this is really great for all kinds of things, and I will explain what our sinking funds are so you can kind of have an idea of what types of things you can save up for. Now, there are sinking funds and there are emergency funds, and they definitely serve a different purpose. You should not be using your emergency fund money for anything you can save up for in your sinking funds. Emergency funds are for those things that are essential, urgent, and absolutely necessary and unexpected that you cannot plan for, like getting super duper sick, car accidents, major damage on your house that insurance isn't covering, or you have to get reimbursed by insurance, that kind of thing. There are all kinds of things in life that we can plan for to some extent. You may not know when these things might need to be fixed or repaired or replaced, like your brakes on your car. You might not know exactly when that's going to happen, but you know eventually you will need new brakes or new tires, new windshield wipers, car registration. Just to talk about your car, that's just one area where you may not know exactly when you need those things, but you know roughly how much it costs and roughly when you'll need it in the next couple years or next year. You know about the time you might need it, and you can save up every month for those things. Also, you should not be investing your sinking fund money. Sinking fund money should be used for something you need in the nearish future, and you need that money to be pretty accessible. You don't need it quite as accessible as you need your emergency fund money, but you should be able to get to it in a day or two, because if you do need a car repair, it wasn't expected to happen right this month, but you had already saved up for it, you're going to want to get that money right away. Whereas if it were in investments, you may not be able to get that money out without a penalty. You may have to wait a while depending on how it's tied up. And you don't really need to earn interest on this stuff because it's not stuff that's going to be it's not money that's going to be sitting there for a very long time. So you're not going to earn any interest on it really anyway. So you might as well just have it in a savings account or cash or whatever you choose that's easily accessible. Now, a question you might have is, where should I keep my sinking funds and how should I keep track of it? This is something we're still figuring out, but I'm guessing what we're going to do that will work for us over time is one savings account attached to our checking account and using an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of the money. So we might have, let's just say, $3,000 in our sinking funds, but we have 10 different sinking funds and $300 is in each one, just to make it really simple to explain. Well, in our savings account, we would just see $3,000. We wouldn't see, okay, $300 is earmarked to pet supplies, $300 is earmarked to clothes, $300 to car repairs. You wouldn't see that when you go into your savings account, so you need some other kind of tool or resource to keep track of that. So I would probably use an Excel spreadsheet. That's what we use in our budget, so I'd probably just make a new Excel spreadsheet saying clothes, $300, whatever, and then if we take any money out, I will just go into the Excel spreadsheet and deduct it. It is a little more challenging because you have the money all lumped together, but if you're really diligent about budgeting like we are now, it's very simple to just go in and update your sinking fund as well. Another option is to go with a bank or company that has separate savings or checking accounts. So I know ING Direct, which used to be Capital One 360, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's Capital One 360 now. I can't remember. We signed up for it before it changed its name, and we haven't really used it since, but you can actually set up different savings accounts, earn interest on them, and then link it to whatever bank you have. So you don't have to do your checking accounts with them, you just link it to an account. I think it takes a day or two to actually transfer the money, which is a little hiccup of it, I guess, if you had to have a downside to it. But it's so nice because you can actually have a fund for pet, clothing, house repairs, car repairs, and that's what it's labeled. So you'll see the $300 or however much you're saving in there, and then you just transfer from your bank every month into those accounts, and it's very simple. So when you buy something, you just transfer the money and you don't have to worry about an Excel spreadsheet or anything like that. Another way you could do it is just to take cash out. I don't know if you would want to do this for all of those things, so that might be a lot of cash to have on hand, but things like clothing, car repairs, if you're going to be using that money soon, or anything you might be using soon, like a quick house repair, maybe you're getting a new window or something, you might just take the cash out because you know you're going to spend it right away and you don't want to have to do all the transferring and Excel updates and all that kind of stuff. But in general, it might be nicer to just maybe just keep some things in cash and some things in a savings account. It's totally up to you guys, but just make sure it's accessible and easy for you to understand, update, and follow, because otherwise it could become a jumbled mess and very confusing. Okay, if you're new to sinking funds, you might be wondering, what sinking funds do I need, how many, how much to put in them? Today I'm going to be covering the sinking funds we have and some ideas for other types of sinking funds you might have that I've researched or thought about that we don't have currently or don't need, but somebody else might. So we have about 13 sinking funds right now, and I'll just quickly go through each one. We have a daycare sinking fund. I'm an in-home childcare provider, so we save about $30 a month just for like craft supplies, toys, that kind of thing, just to keep updating. And we might budget for bigger things here and there as well, and I'm applying for a grant right now and stuff like that, but in general about $30. I'm not going to share how much we save for each thing because over time we'll probably update this, and I don't want this video, if somebody comes back to see it a year later, to be confusing or misleading. So I'm just going to share overall just the topics, just the categories we use. Other ones are car maintenance for, like I said, windshield wipers, car registration, tires, brakes, you know, just the routine repairs, oil changes, air filters, that kind of thing. House maintenance, and this is for things like furnace filters, if you need a new weather strip around your door, you know, just random things with houses. I feel like there's always something you need in your house that's breaking, or, you know, softener salt, just those routine things. I'm not using this fund most likely for bigger purchases, but just those small random things that you need around your house. Christmas. This is a really big one. I'll probably do a whole video on exactly how we figured out how much to save for Christmas, but basically we wrote down everybody we want to buy for, the things we want to buy, such as Christmas cards, you know, if we were going to have any parties, or if we need more decorations, or you know, if we want more decorations that year, how much we are budgeting for those specific things, and then we just divided it by the amount of time we have until Christmas, and that's what we're saving. Come next year, when we are starting at the whole new year, it will be a lot less money per month because we have 12 months to save, but we're starting this in September, so we have September, October, November, and December to save. So it's a lot more money this year, but next year will be a lot more manageable. So that's how we save for Christmas. We do the same thing for birthdays. We just write down a list of whose birthday happens every year and how much we want to spend on that person in the next year, and then we are just saving monthly, and then whenever somebody's birthday comes up, the money's just there because we've been saving every month. It also is nice because then you can, if you find something for somebody, Christmas or for their birthday or an anniversary, we also save for Mother's, Father's Day, and that kind of thing in our birthdays funds. Side note. But if we were to find something throughout the year that would be really great for that person and it's on sale, we can buy it because we've already budgeted for it, and then we just update our sinking funds to say, like, we already bought for that person, we spent this much money. So that's really great part of it too. Another sinking fund we have is clothing. We only put about $25 into it. I kind of figure if we need more clothing or there's something happening where we're going to buy clothing, we might just add it to our like expenses after our sinking funds, because it's kind of defeats the purpose of having a sinking fund if you just keep spending it every month. But we put $25 in there just in case like something were to come up in 2 months, then it's there. But if something comes up that month, in addition to that, we just budget for it. But this may be a great thing if school is coming up, the school season. You might start budgeting in October for the next year's school clothes. So you can put like $25, $50 a month, and then by the next year you have a lot of money in there to buy your kids' school clothes. We also have a medical fund. This would be for things like co-pays, prescriptions, prescription co-pays, little things that you might have to have done, chiropractor visits, that kind of thing. If it's not like a very expensive thing, that's what we use our medical fund for. We also have a vacation fund. We're not saving a lot for vacation, but we don't plan on doing any extravagant vacationing. We probably will go to Florida in 2 years, but we plan on driving, so it should not even cost $1,000 for our whole family, which is very affordable. And my husband works at a hotel. He's a sous chef at a hotel, so we get a really good discount on hotel stays. So this is just so we can do like a yearly little vacation, maybe meet up with friends or something for a weekend and just have like a mini vacation. Nothing extravagant, but something we can save up for. That's not totally going against our paying off debt, but it's still something to like keep us going so we're not completely sacrificing everything. We also have a vision fund for things like contacts, glasses, eye exams, anything of that nature goes in our vision sinking fund. House decorating. This is one that Dave probably would not agree with, but I work from home. And our home is a place, it's something I love to do, is decorate, and I really just want to get our house to a place of feeling like done, to some extent, like have curtains in every room, have shades in every room, some kind of art in every room, nothing expensive, nothing major, and just have like the key furniture pieces we need. We're getting very close. But there's also projects that I really want to do, like storage, our storage room. Now that we've finished our basement, I really want to get that organized. We need things like tubs to organize. So we're budgeting about $200 a month right now for that, just to get our home to a place of being like done to some extent. We all know that a home is never done, but just to get it to a place where I'm like, okay, every room has pretty much every item it needs. We have a bug company quarterly visit sinking fund. We had wasps in our house, so we are now doing a quarterly plan. It's like $135 every 3 months that they'll come and just do a treatment on our house to help avoid that in the future. And so we save like $35 a month for that, and it's very affordable and easier. Maybe it's $45 into our sinking fund, so that we're just always saving for it, so it's never like a big expense that we have to think about that month. We have a Vitacost vitamins fund. Our vitamins that we get are not cheap, so we are saving up every month, and I've calculated about how much we would need every couple months based on how many vitamins come with it. We do probiotic and multivitamins for us and our daughter. So that way it's nothing like major, and we're just always saving for it, and it helps us remember to actually buy them because it's already in the budget. I mentioned in our emergency fund video that we save up the last 2 weeks. A parent, whenever they enroll in my daycare, they pay the last 2 weeks up front, so we just have that sitting in a sinking fund. It's not something we're saving every month, but if a child leaves my care and a new child comes in, then we'll take their last 2 weeks and put it in that sinking fund, so it's just kind of sitting there for whenever we need it. And then our last sinking fund is business taxes. Right now I'm saving 15% of my income, which was actually pretty conservative this year because I had so many expenses. So we actually will have oversaved, which is a good thing, if all goes as calculated with our accountant. But I'm just going to keep doing that. If I ever need to do more, I'll probably up it. I doubt I'll ever do less because it's just a good cushion, because no 2 years are exactly the same. So every time I get paid, I just take 15% of that and I put it into a savings account that's just linked with our checking account. I have it separate from my other savings sinking funds because it's just easier that way for me in my head to know that that money's set aside for taxes. And then when it comes time to pay my quarterly taxes, I just send it off to the government. Bye-bye. So those are all our sinking funds, but I'm just going to read. I have some notes, just make this faster for you guys. Some other sinking funds you might have. If you're saving up for a car, if you're saving up for a down payment on a house, if you're in college, you can save up for your books and your tuition in advance. Parties, if there's any parties you throw, birthday parties for your children, maybe holiday parties, surprise 40th birthday party for your friend or your spouse, baby showers, wedding showers, all those you can save up for in advance. An insurance fund. So if you do not have an escrow account, we do, with your mortgage, you will probably want to save up for your property homeowners insurance, and also car insurance. We pay that monthly. I should get that changed because you pay more if you pay it monthly, but that's how we've had it forever. So if you're doing it every 6 months, you definitely want to be saving for that. School supplies, you can save up the year ahead of time so you can really have fun come school supply time, because you're not breaking the budget because you've already saved up the money, and it doesn't feel like bad at all. It feels exciting. Holidays, so if you throw like a big Thanksgiving or a big Easter, Christmas dinner or whatever, you might want to save up for that. Medical procedures, things like LASIK, cosmetic surgery of some kind, or anything like that where it's not like a major surgery that you have to do, it's more of an elective surgery. You probably will want to save up for that ahead of time. Other medical or dental procedures, things like braces, teeth whitening is something else I thought of. If that's something you get done or want to get done, you know, all those more cosmetic type things. Pets, maybe you're saving up to get a pet. Maybe you want to save up just for their food or toys, vet bills, that kind of thing. We're just going to kind of build it into the budget when the time comes, but it is a good thing to set up as a sinking fund. Now that I'm thinking about it, we probably want to do that. And then if you live in a state like Minnesota, or maybe other places has this too, where in the winter or in other months, maybe in the summer, if you live somewhere really hot, your utilities bills might be higher because of the heat or the climate or whatever. So you might want to budget for those ahead of time. We're actually on a budget billing system. The only thing that really fluctuates a lot is our gas bill. So we're on a budget billing system. So we pay $91 a month every month, and then if there's ever, we've never had to owe more at the end. If we underpaid, we've always had like a 1 month, like actually this month we only had to pay $30 because we had overpaid. So it's just nice to kind of have it averaged out. So it's kind of like a sinking fund, but they're taking care of it, if that makes sense. But if you don't have something like that, or you just really don't know what it will be, just save up some extra money so then those hotter, colder times of the year you have the money set aside to cover you for those really expensive utilities bills. Dues and subscriptions, things like magazines, if there's magazines you subscribe to, so you don't have to think about it when the little card comes the next year, like, oh shoot, now I owe another $20. You might just save up for that. If your kids are in sports, or maybe you belong to a country club or some kind of like parent-child organization or something like that, preschool, anything like that, you might set up a sinking fund for it, for uniforms, dues, activities, fees, that kind of thing. That's all stuff you can think about ahead of time and really plan for. One other thing is just that I could think of was just like major appliances. Maybe one of your appliances is a little older and you know you're going to have to replace it in the next few years. You might save up for that. It might be a good idea just to have like $500 sitting there for that kind of thing, but we're really trying to pay off debt, so you know, if that happened, we'd probably just get something used or just figure it out. I don't really know. It'd probably be a good thing to have in the sinking fund, but all of our appliances are newer, but I know today new isn't the same as 50 years ago new, where they could just fix it and it lasts a long time. So that's another good idea for a sinking fund. So that is everything I have to say about sinking funds, which was a lot, but I was hoping this video would either be super educational and informative if you don't know anything about sinking funds, or it might give you some ideas if you already know a lot, but maybe you didn't think of something I thought of, or you think of it in a different way. I just want to be helpful to you guys as we go along this journey, because so many other people have helped us. I just want to pay it forward. So if you guys have sinking funds, I would love to know, are there any sinking funds you have that I didn't mention mention, or other things you save in those certain sinking fund categories that I did not mention. I want to help as many people as possible, so please leave them in the comments so you can contribute to helping others as well. And I would also love to know, how do you manage your sinking funds? Do you use cash? Do you use cash and savings accounts? How do you do it? Do you have checking accounts? Maybe there's some other way I haven't even thought of. I would love to know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stop by next week for another Marital Money Monday video. Hopefully Stan will be in that one, but he's really busy with work right now. So I'm taking one for the team and making sure we're still letting you guys in on everything there is to know about money in our marriage. Thank you guys so much for watching.